right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It was Saturday, June 1st, and the Yankees were taking on the Giants in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Arson Judge, still as hot in June as he was in May. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260 plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with OddsJam. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, and welcome back to Terrence, who was at the game last night. We'll talk about that. First of all, got to say happy birthday. Got to shout out happy birthday wishes to my mom. She brought me into this world, and she will take me out. Hopefully, you see this in the morning. I'll be sleeping, but I'll call you later. Yankees look pretty good tonight, TK. 22 games over 500, and even when they face good pitching, they find a way to get the job done. 41-19.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that. Already took the series, so that's good. All in all, a really good road trip, even if they lose tomorrow. So you got to be happy with that. Going back to Yankee Stadium for a big series coming up with the Dodgers as well. I'm sure that MLB is just absolutely salivating at that potential World Series matchup. You know that's what they're after. And just a little bit of a shout out to my fellow Ranger fans. Tough loss tonight. That sucked. But,
Yikes.
you know, Florida was the better team. Let's just be honest.
So you were there last night. You got to witness 2 Judge home runs. He hit another one. What did I not say he was going to be the first person to 20 this year? Prophecy fulfilled, baby. How close were you to where that landed yesterday?
You totally called that. And it's funny. So I was with my dad the whole trip. It was great spending time with him. We went to all 3 games together. And I showed him Dune while he was out here. And if for all of you who have seen Dune, the Lisan al-Gaib is the one who fulfills the prophecy. So clearly, as Derek said, Arson Judge has fulfilled the prophecy. So he must be the Lisan al-Gaib. And so I'm sitting in left field. I was closer to the foul pole. And then literally Judge hits the shot. It's coming right towards me, but that park is unbelievably windy. If anybody's been there, it's freezing because the water from McCovey Cove is right there, and the wind is like bouncing off the water, and it's so cold. So it's like just a big swirl in there all the time. So the ball's coming right towards us, and at the last second, the wind kind of carried it over a little bit, and then maybe 30 feet to my left, it landed, and I was just like, oh man! But the thing that was just so surprising to me is that, man, was he getting booed. It was so funny to me. The entire stadium was booing him so hard. He goes yard, comes up again. They're booing him again. And my dad and I are looking at each other like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, sure enough, he went yard again. And, I mean, guys just playing like the best player in baseball right now. All those Dodger fans, it's Ohtani. Shut up! Ohtani is not the best player in baseball right now. It pisses me off so much that he's not pitching. As of today, on June 1st?
Yeah.
Arson Judge is the best player in baseball.
I've got to update the calendar. I forgot to switch it over. It's still May. So the Yankees will play tomorrow with the Giants, and then they head back home. But 21 home runs. Somebody just asked if he can get to 30 before the All-Star break. I think that's going to be a layup to get to 30 before the All-Star break. I think he's got a really good chance to do that. I think he's got an outside chance to get to 40 before the All-Star break. He's got 19 to go in 38 games. So basically a home run every other game for the next couple of months, and he would get to 40 rather. So anyway, E-Money says, how can you boo Aaron Judge? I don't understand it either, especially if he's a hometown guy, but you think he should play in the home run derby? It's like an easy $1 million.
I mean, he definitely could if he wanted to. I don't think he will. I don't really want him to. There's a history of guys going into slumps after the home run derby. I think in his rookie year he did do it a little bit of a dip after the home run derby. I think it just messes with mechanics. He already won as a rookie. I think the only way he'll ever do the home run derby again is if the Yankees host the All-Star game.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
They haven't had it at the new stadium. It's only a matter of time because once a new stadium comes around, they MLB likes to showcase the All-Star game there. And the last one was in 2008. It was the last All-Star game at the old stadium. So you figure, maybe by 2028, that would be 20 years. You would think at some point over the next few years, it's going to be back at the stadium.
I definitely think they're going to do it at least once while Judge is a Yankee. It only makes sense, right? I mean, they're definitely going to do it at some point. I don't know when, but I definitely think that – I think Judge has even said that. The only way he would do it again is if the Yankees were hosting it. That'd be pretty cool, though.
So I'm going to run through the key takeaways, and then we're just going to talk tonight because it's the last night game for a while in the 10 o'clock range, for the East Coast. So I'm worn out. So I didn't take very copious notes tonight. I just kind of wanted to watch the game. I've got this Apple Vision Pro. It's like this VR headset with like a really clear screen. And so I
tried it. It's insane. It's cool. I tried it at the Apple Store. It's nuts.
So I sit in the backyard and I put like a 10, 20-foot screen up in my backyard, and it's got like this great sound. And that was just a cool way to experience the game tonight. I've been wanting to do it, and I purposefully waited for tonight because, Cody Poteet was pitching. I didn't love the Yankees' chances. I kind of expected them to lose. And so I was like, well, I'll just watch, and then we'll just kind of wing the post game. But let me just go ahead and give you a few notes here. So Rizzo looked pretty good on D tonight. Volpe keeps hitting. Hits in 23 out of the last 24 games. He picked up a double. Soto had his 50th RBI. Verdugo picked up his 30th RBI. Nice piece of hitting. He also smoked one off the wall. They both had triples. Cody Poteet filling in for Clark Schmidt. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. So basically what Clark Schmidt gives you most of the time. Like 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 1/3, 1 run. Like that's kind of his thing. So you'll take that from Cody Poteet every day of the week. And Giancarlo Stanton, icing on the cake with his 14th home run of the season in the 8th.
That ball is high. It is far. It is gone.
And the Yankees hang on to win 7-3, 11 hits, and they complete the series victory. And tomorrow they go for the sweep.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
All right. And TK, we're going to let you do the honors once again with in keeping with custom. When you co-host, I let you pick the belt. So who you got?
I think for tonight we got to go with the Lisan Al Gaib, Arson Judge.
Oh, I love it. I love having him back.
Yeah, oh my God.
And we legit got a shot at having 3 guys with 30-plus home runs this year. And Judge probably going to hit close to 60. So it's really like having 4 guys with 30 home runs, which is bonkers.
62 watch back on?
I'd say, like, if I had to bet right now and put my money on a number like on roulette. You ever play roulette where you get like 35 to 1 or whatever? I would probably put it on 58. I say 58 is, what, because they're going to stop pitching to him at some point. But I think
that's who are you going to pitch to? That's the thing. In 2022, there was nobody else to really. You could pitch to the rest of the lineup, but with this lineup, you got Soto right in front of him. Verdugo's played really well. We'll see what they do at the deadline. I see the cat there, but who? That's the difference with this team. I think he has a chance to break 62. Who are you going to pitch to?
Yeah, well, you got to pitch to Soto in front of him. For sure. You can't pitch around both of them. So I think Soto's going to continue to have an awesome year. Soto now hitting .316. He has got a 1.002 OPS. How crazy is that? Back-to-back hitters in our lineup with an OPS over 1,000. And Judge up to .282 after that really horrible start. Also had 2 hits tonight from Verdugo and from Stanton. Torres had a hit and a couple of strikeouts and continues to be allergic to double plays. and DJ LeMahieu with a base hit, hitting .231 with a .606 OPS since he's come back. Which brings me to a topic I want to kind of talk about. You know, the Yankees do have some offensive issues in the infield. DJ, we don't know what he's going to be, but for the first half of last year, he was just hot garbage. I mean, he was better in the second half after Sean Casey came over, but we don't know what he's going to be this year. Gleyber Torres hitting .229. Yeah, he was better in May, but he still hit .240 with 4 home runs in May. That's not great. That's like a 24 home run pace, so that's about what he did 2 years ago. Last year it was 25, I think. So that's about what he was, but still hitting .229 on the year with a .635 OPS. And Rizzo, 0 for 4 tonight, .675 OPS. I thought he drove the ball well the opposite way on one shot that got caught just in front of the wall. Last night he hit one off the top of the wall. You were there for that. But to me, he just doesn't seem to be stinging the ball like he used to. And you got to wonder, is he starting to, this is what I wonder about. Is the concussion symptoms or concussion syndrome, flaring back up? We don't know, because he was good for a bit, but now he kind of looks like that guy from last year.
I don't know. I mean, for Rizzo, I'm willing to ride it. I'm willing to keep riding Rizzo just because I believe at the end of this year they have an option to pick up if they would like. If not, they can just let him go. I'm fine with riding Rizzo. My bigger concern is Torres. Also, the defense is an issue, and defense up the middle is a bigger issue. So I would prioritize looking at maybe a second base option over a first base option. Also, there's not going to be a ton of first basemen available at the deadline this year.
Right.
We can get into the top 10 trade acquisitions video you made. Derek and I kind of made a little bit of a compilation together about some guys that him and I think would be a fit. But there's only one offensive player on that list, and that's Jazz Chisholm Jr. Came up as a second base.
McMahon.
Oh,
McMahon.
McMahon. I like McMahon, but I'm a believer in Coors effect. Is he going to be the same player outside of Colorado? Also, Colorado's a tiny market. Can he handle New York? You could say the same about Miami as well. The Yankees got to do their research about that. But for Jazz Chisholm Jr., I like him as an acquisition. He came up as a second baseman. They moved him to short. Now he's in center. He's a freak athlete. I think he could really play any position on the field. He only hits about like 250, but he's a lefty swing. He can probably run into a couple at Yankee Stadium with the short porch. He's got lightning speed. He's only making $2.625 million this year. He's got 2 more years of control after this. Torres is making 14 too. So Steinbrenner talking about shaving payroll. There's a way to do it right there. You acquire Chisholm and stick him at second. That's great athleticism right there. And you don't really need him to do too much. You take the pressure off him because Jazz Chisholm is the star of that team. All of a sudden you bring him to the Yankees. He's like the seven-hole guy. So, I think you probably relieve a lot of the pressure for him there. And the speed kills, especially in today's game. I'd love to have that at the back of the lineup. But I think that'd be a good fit. And I also don't think you probably give up too much. The guy Derek and I were talking about before the show, Everson Pereira in the minor leagues. He's our 5th best prospect. He's 23 in AAA. There's just not a place for him on the future of this team. Where are you going to play him? So he has to be gone at this deadline while he still has a little bit of value. So I definitely package him up with Chisholm to acquire Chisholm. I think Miami could be interested. You might need to send some other guys other than Pereira, but definitely a guy who should be on the block. And if Miami's willing to take him for Jazz Chisholm Jr., you do it. And then you worry about moving Torres for, I don't know what the hell you get for Torres, but maybe a pitcher, some depth piece that'd be nice.
So Everson Pereira is showing as injured on the 7-day IL. I did not know he was injured, but he's got 162 at-bats this year in AAA, 10 home runs, 346 on-base percentage, 858 OPS, hitting .265. So putting up good numbers. I'm sure somebody would be interested. The strikeouts have always been an issue. To me, the guy is still Mason Miller, and that's still the debate. We were debating this in the green room, so to speak, before the show. You brought up, would you trade Spencer Jones for Mason Miller? And goddamn, it's a tough decision. If you ask me on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'd probably say no. You ask me on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I'd probably say yes. You ask me on Sunday, I'll probably give you 2 different answers. And today's Sunday. So, before the show, I was like, yeah, we'd probably do it. Right now, as I think about it, I'm thinking about that home run he hit the other night. I'm thinking about Soto being a free agent, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. But let's say I give you the keys to the front office, and Oakland, Billy Beane calls up tomorrow and says, listen, TK, I got to move this guy. Give me your best offer, or he's going to the O's. Do you part with Spencer Jones to keep him out of the Orioles bullpen?
It's such a tough call. On the one hand, you have Juan Soto guaranteed for 1 year, guaranteed this entire year. So you have to go all in for this year because there's no guarantee that you're going to bring him back. I think the Yankees have a good chance to bring him back, but you just don't know. Having said that, you're thinking that Spencer Jones is your insurance policy for Juan Soto, but I could say the same about acquiring a Mason Miller. Clay Holmes is a free agent after this year.
It's true.
Mason Miller is an insurance policy for Clay Holmes, if you want to look at it that way. So there's positives and negatives. People who've watched the show since spring training, everybody knows I'm a huge Spencer Jones guy. I mean, I'm holding on to him for dear life. I would really be remiss to give him up. I'd really try to sell a Roderick Arias, a George Lombard Jr. I would really like to hold on to Spencer Jones, but if push comes to shove and they're just not going for it and they're like, okay, he's going to be an Oriole unless you give us Jones. I mean, it's such a tough call. That's why Brian Cashman makes the big bucks, as we can see. So it's going to be a really difficult decision. Frankly, I don't have the answer. It's got to be a weird one. Also, the Yankees have a terrible history with trading with the Athletics. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Sonny Gray.
No, I've noticed that.
So I'm like a little scared for that reason, but that's kind of a weird thing.
There is one more thing that we got to bring up because we got this comment too. Retro Tony says we still have the Martian. Now, it's going to be tough to keep Dominguez out of the major leagues this year. Yeah. He's kind of another insurance policy, but in the last 6 games, he's got 4 home runs on his rehab assignment. He's hitting .347 in the minors on his rehab assignment. Look, I know that they're talking about optioning him to AAA, but it's going to be really hard to watch this guy hit .350 from both sides of the plate and smash home runs and destroy AAA pitching while, we got guys up here like Stanton who every once in a while he runs into a home run, but he's hitting what, 230? What is Stanton hitting right now? 231. It's going to be also difficult to watch that.
And can't play the field either. So,
right.
It's going back to, there's a bunch of different things. If you're giving up Jones for Miller, also, you're definitely re-signing Verdugo, I think, even if you bring back Soto. But again, with the whole shaving the payroll, Jones is going to be cheaper than Verdugo. So last tidbit there. But for the Martian, I think the Yankees have to be looking at the writing on the wall and saying, we got to get rid of Stanton at some point. Not because Stanton hasn't had clutch moments. And not because Stanton hasn't been a pretty solid, good offensive player for us in the past. Yes, he goes through his stretches, and we know that. But when Stanton is like nuclear Stanton, as you put it, it's so fun to watch him play, and the guy's just electric. But also, Illuminati Gaming, Spencer Jones is not a first baseman. I used to think that too. He's way too athletic. He's a center fielder. Okay, back to this.
He's got so much speed, man. He's as fast as Corbin Carroll. Let me throw this at you, too. We got Jared Williams says 41-19 is unreal. So back in 1998, I remember this specifically. When the Yankees went to the All-Star break, they were 60-21. That just tells you how ridiculous that team was. That we would have to go 19-2 to match that. That's how good that team was compared to every other team that we've watched.
Also, the narrative that Stanton is money in the postseason, Eduardo, shout out to you. Juan Soto's money in the postseason. Guy lives for the big moment. So I don't really feel like we're losing that clutch gene there. But I think the Yankees got to be looking at the writing on the wall. We got Stanton for this year and then 3 more years after this. He's just not a fit on the roster. And I love Stanton. He's hit some huge home runs for us, but he handcuffs the entire roster. If you snap your fingers and he's not on the team, Dominguez is on the team, and he's the better player. It's clear. The reason Stanton is still on the team is because his contract is just onerous. Now, you're not going to really be able to trade him. I think they also got to realize they're going to end up eating, I think, at least the last 2 years of that contract, if not 3. They probably know that by now. But I think with Stanton, nobody wants to be on a team where you're not wanted. If Brian Cashman calls him in the office and he's like, look, dude, you've been great. We loved what you've done for the franchise for the time you've been here, but you're going to have to give us 4 to 5 teams that you're willing to accept a trade to, and we're going to explore options and see what he says. If they just straight up tell Stanton, like, thanks, but it's time to move on, yeah, he probably will give them a list of teams, I think. And then you're going to get, a copier machine for him, but that's fine. As long as he's not on the roster anymore and you give Jasson Dominguez the chance, because look, remember what they did with Volpe? They brought him up. They gave him a lot of leash. They gave him time to nourish. These young guys, they need at-bats. They need at-bats. And Dominguez is clearly ready. He's clearly a major leaguer at this point in his career.
And a good one.
He needs at-bats. And Jasson Dominguez, if he comes up at the All-Star break or something like that and he lights it up, all of a sudden, I want to re-sign Juan Soto. Like, let's be clear. But if we lose Soto, I'm not going to lose as much sleep over it just because I'm looking at Jasson Dominguez possibly as the next Juan Soto of that generation. You see where I'm coming from?
That's something that you bring up a great point. I want Dominguez to learn from Soto. We saw them together in spring training, how they were like 2 peas in a pod, couple of Dominican guys. They were like best buds. Soto's only a few years older than Dominguez. So, I feel like, the lessons that Dominguez could learn from watching Soto and hitting in the same lineup, in the same top of the lineup against the same pitchers in the same games. Apparently he's got this off the charts baseball IQ. I want him to learn by watching Juan Soto every day. Now look, I've seen people say we could bring up Dominguez to replace Trent Grisham, but like you said, they can't do that because he's got to play every day. The only way that happens is if Verdugo then becomes your 4th outfielder, which I don't know if you can do that because he's playing so well, right?
Yeah.
So it's just the Yankees are in kind of a predicament. One way to handle the Stanton situation is the phantom IL. You're not supposed to do that anymore. But, I mean, the guy likes to travel. He didn't get to travel much this offseason because he was getting himself in shape to try and become a baseball player again. Maybe it's time for a nice 2-week vacation to Egypt or something, Oh man, but no, I think we got to find a way to get the Martian back up here. Look, he's my fucking cell phone. Like he's been since he hit that home run at Yankee Stadium last year. He's been on my cell phone wallpaper, and I've had my dog died, and I felt bad not replacing it. I was like, I want to put CeCe on there, but I was like, but Dominguez, baby. I was no, but I'm psyched about the way the Yankees are playing. But live long and prosper, baby.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling good about the way things are looking. We got a chance for the sweep tomorrow. We got some really stupid comments. Somebody says make Dominguez a catcher. Oh my God.
I also saw one. Apparently, Jazz Chisholm is a cancer in the clubhouse. I've never heard of any sort of character issues with him. But I have every confidence in the Yankee clubhouse that look, Aaron Judge is the leader of that clubhouse. Even if he is a cancer, they'll be able to deal with it. They had freaking Domingo Herman on their team, like slapping his wife and flipping couches, guys. Like, I think they'll be able to handle it. They're grown men.
He was the worst of the clubhouse cancers. Man. Apparently he was giving Marinaccio crap when he was being sent down. Like he was. Yeah.
Like I really don't think I have never even heard of that narrative that Chisholm's a cancer. I think he wants to play hard and he wants to win, and winning is the best deodorant, right? I think he'll be fine. And we had Stroman character issues before he started the season. Look how he's handled it. Yeah, so I think it'll be fine with that. Also, one more thing. I think a nice, I don't want to say a plan B because I think he's a really good player, but if the Mason Miller thing falls through, either the A's don't deal him or the A's deal him to somebody else, and you hold on to Jones, a Garrett Crochet would be a really nice acquisition because we're short a lefty in the bullpen, and that guy's got electric stuff. Maybe a Crochet Kopech if you want to do both of them in a package. That would be really nice too. A Kopech, Crochet, Chisholm deadline, I'd be very happy with that.
Here's the thing though. Garrett Crochet is 24 years old, and he looks like a young Chris Sale. Like he's 6'6". He's got this weird motion. He throws 98 miles an hour. I don't see how the White Sox would, like any sane general manager, let alone the White Sox, would give that up. That's the guy you build your rotation around. He's going to be your future ace, possibly.
Yeah, they're going nowhere, though. I think they need so much help. They should deal everybody. Their whole rebuild didn't work. I thought they were going to be good. They had a really good system when the Braves had a really good system. And then the Braves, all their prospects blossomed, and all the White Sox prospects just fell into the trash can. So I'd be dealing Luis Robert if I were them. I'd be dealing Crochet, Kopech. Like, everybody would be available. Just start from scratch, burn it to the ground, fire everybody there, build a new stadium. I don't know. I mean, just that entire franchise needs to start from scratch. They're just so lost. So what's the point? Same thing with the A's. What's the point of holding on to Mason Miller? That doesn't make any sense. All right. I mean, and if I'm the A's too, I want prospects that are going to be ready in like 2027, 2028, because you want a nice crop of rookies that are ready for the Vegas move or for the new stadium. I don't even know where they're going to end up, but for the new stadium, for the rebrand of the franchise, that's what you want. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for a Spencer Jones just in that regard for him to be basically being a Lamborghini and parked next to a trailer park in 2025. That doesn't make any sense to me. So
David Caniglio says, people said Verdugo was a bad clubhouse dude too.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody knows. Every single person is different. Every single environment is different. Guys who might not fit in one place might fit in great another place. So you never know. But I think it'll all work itself out. And if Dominguez keeps swinging the bat the way he is, I think that'll work itself out too. But TK, thanks for joining us. 666 watching live. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We are closing in on 40,000 subscribers. Visit NYYRecaps.shop. That's where we sell all these hats and stuff. We got the new Soto silhouette hat, which is fire. I've ordered a couple of them. Oh, and TK wants to show off this awesome bobblehead he got from San Francisco.
Yeah, it was African-American Heritage Night last night at the Giant game. They're giving out these Willie Mays bobbleheads. He's wearing the Birmingham Barons, I think it was, jersey from the Negro Leagues. That was pretty cool. Wearing the number 8. So I like bobbleheads. I like collecting them. It's a pretty cool little tidbit there. But yeah, the park is beautiful. Petco is beautiful. Anaheim's Yankee Stadium West, knew that. But if I'm going to rank them, I'd probably go Oracle, Petco, and then Angel Stadium. But Oracle's freezing. So if you go there, bundle up, man, because it is cold, but it's beautiful.
Did you see any rats? Last time I was there, I saw the rats.
I did not see the rats, and I saw that you mentioned that. I did not see any rats. I saw really annoying Giant fans booing Aaron Judge, though. That was annoying.
Well, it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sign off. 12:56 a.m. in the East. Yankees play tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Our nightmare of 10 days of 10 o'clock games and staying up all night and drinking coffee at 10:30 at night is over for me.
It's
and
only
so
10 o'clock for me, but
yeah,
sorry,
well, we're back on the normal schedule here on the East Coast, and we'll see you tomorrow.